I got to start on a serious note, which is who's the better pool player, Steven Dorff or Wyatt Russell?
Oh man, uh, I gotta say Wyatt, bro. I gotta say Wyatt. He's got this like Zen, this like Zen vision of all things. So it's like when he's playing pool, I think everybody in the bar just disappears, and it is just Wyatt Russell.
Yeah.
He's got the ultimate focus. I gotta say Wyatt.
Yeah, yeah, and probably some really good stories. Well, both of them, I bet.
Oh yeah, no. Also, it was great playing with Steven, but Steven's so locked in as an actor. I think when you're in a scene with Steven Dorff, you can't help but just be your character because he's just so amazing. You wanna step your game up and do a good job too.
Right, right. Let's really kick this off with your character's introduction here. You door check a runner, and you play it off super chill. Where does that character introduction rank among your filmography? Because you got car jams and everybody wants some. You got the intense driving protein shake in American Animals. So just where does that go?
Oh, dude, no, yeah. I think this one. I mean, when you meet my character and everybody wants him, it's pretty dope because he's driving the car and he's just like, you got My Sharona playing. I mean, I don't think we could ever do that, but and badass ways to like introduce a character. I think this one's pretty cool, man. When I read it in the script, I was like, oh wow. Like the second you meet him, he means business. He's trying to calm this dude down. He's trying to help these people who are trying to catch him because there's like, they're after him. Obviously, he sees that they need help, and this dude's getting away. But yeah, I mean, it's solid second. I think it's number one's got to be Everybody Wants Some. I mean, I remember reading that script for the first time. And the second that I saw that it opened up with My Sharona and the dude's just driving to college, because I love that music. I love that era of music.
Me too.
Me and my bond on it like all the time. So we're always playing music at their house. But yeah, solid number two. Everybody Wants Some is number one. And yeah, I guess number three is American Animals, because yeah, I mean that was he's just drinking protein shakes and kind of being and everything, but.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you. It's hard to ignore the fact that we have a Pulp Fiction reunion here with Bruce Willis and John Travolta. So when it came to them being in a scene together, was everyone just crowding around to get a glimpse and the prospect of some old story exchanges on set?
Oh yeah, no, everybody was like, oh, it's the Bruce and John day. It's the Bruce and John day, guys. Oh my God, second I got to work, yeah. So anytime anybody was lagging or anything on those days, they're like, you got to get it together. It's the Bruce and John day. But yeah, I think it was amazing seeing them on set together, and I'm a huge fan of Pulp Fiction. So getting to see them interact and everything was definitely felt like a full circle moment. And I think all of us were just so grateful to be around them. I mean, I never even thought, I definitely have scenes with Bruce, which is wonderful, but my character kind of operating from a very like family oriented kind of corner of his heart, because Bruce plays my dad. Yeah. But with John, he's dealing from a completely different deck. He's kind of playing a darkish kind of character. So that was really, really inspiring and really cool to watch him kind of switch gears, because I'm a big fan of all of his work, but I haven't gotten to see him play like a role exactly like this just yet. So it's quite inspiring all around.
I guess in Punisher, he was kind of that sinister type of role, but not quite as... He's just a really interesting character. Like, for instance, do you think John Travolta felt a little empty that no one seems to accept his character's food or beverage offerings in this movie? Because you turned down his double espresso. Steven says no to this dish, and he just seems so disappointed about them.
Dude, I never even thought of it. It's kind of like you ever seen the Ryan Gosling doesn't want his cereal?
Yeah, with the cereal, yeah.
Like that. Yeah, I never realized that. Oh my God, if somebody had just accepted a food or a beverage offering, we could have avoided this movie would have been a short film. We would have just filled his heart with so much joy. He would have ended up one of the guys.
Yeah, you never know.
Thank you. Because now I'm going to call whenever I talk to the director, Chuck, I'm going to tell him that you said that. I bet you he doesn't even realize it.
Yeah, that's funny. There's a scene where Ryan makes a jump from 10 floors up, and there's a lot of
Right.
crazy stunts here. But
Yeah.
what would you say that unseen art to kind of pick up after your stunt man to kind of keep that continuity going, like the ridiculous things that you have to do, like do you watch the impact that they have and then you're like, okay, I got to pick up right there. What kind of pain did they
Yeah.
experience? Like,
Well, that was me jumping from the 10th floor. We actually did that. That was no, just kidding. My mom would kill me. I actually told her. I took a video of that. I was like, "That was me." She's like, "No, it wasn't, Blakester." She's like, "There's no way." But no, I guess it. First of all, it's me running out the thing, and I think I kind of. I remember Chuck was just telling me to run up to the to like the
mhm,
to the like the balcony. What do you call to run to the balcony and just stop. But I think when you see me in the movie and I kind of jump, I was just trying to like I tried, this was my first action movie, so I was like, well, I don't want it to seem like a snap cut kind of thing. So I was like, let me kind of bleed through the stunt as much as I can, even though I'm not doing the big portion of it.
mhm.
Yeah, definitely seeing. I saw the whole stunt go down, and I think I was just like this the whole time. Like I was like, whoa, damn, like this is serious, because they actually did it from high up, falling into the koi pond.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just all in there, and then you're kind of you think about the impact and everything, and in the movie, my character is supposed to like lose consciousness a bit, and then wakes up at like the right time. So yeah, it's like kind of going with the shock, combining all of that, taking the stunt, and as serious as it looks, you kind of have to give off that serious factor, that like pain and everything, and exhaustion, like going through this whole thing, this roller coaster of a moment that scene is. So I think when I was doing it, I actually gave myself kind of like not like a limp leg, but just like cramping up and all this stuff. It's like dehydration. You're in Hawaii, so like he's out of breath and stuff. He doesn't know what's going on. This all happens so fast. So definitely, you're kind of on the money there when you're watching, because I'm like kind of like struggling when I'm coming out of that water.
Yeah. So you're probably like, Mom, I had to hold my breath for a little bit and I swam with some fish. So it's pretty intense.
And she's like, "Oh my God, that's terrifying."
I bet. There are a few moments where you stylishly walk into establishment or you leave one, and we get the classic person who's calling in to tip off your enemies. Does a work like this make you more suspicious of people, or are you still kind of rowing at your trusting speed?
I think it's like, you know what, you're probably dealing from two different decks. You're probably like, with Steven's character, with Robbie, you're just kind of, you're walking through, you trust him enough because you're still getting to know him.
Mm-hmm.
Have somebody else kind of guiding you. So that door of your heart is pretty clear and pretty open. But I think when I'm walking into like some like grand scenes, like a lot of people like around, you kind of can't help but to have your own back and to be looking around and stuff. So like there's so many times in this movie where I think I'm just like, like looking over around, scoping out the area, because at the end of the day, you're trying to find someone. You're trying to find answers for my father disappearing and stuff. So yeah, you kind of got the antennas going. You're trusting who you're doing, and also you're scoping out because you don't want to miss anything.
Yeah, for sure. What about the culture explored here? Because it's great when we get to see the titular place and we see how they live, this grand sense of community. Was there anything that particularly touched you about the culture and the people that maybe gave you a new outlook on life?
Well, that's the whole movie. I can't tell you how many times we we did some read throughs, and every time our director Chuck Russell, he got emotional because it's like it kind of meant so much to him. He'd spent so much time there during pre-production and getting to know the locals. We have a lot of local actors that are part of this too, and it meant so much to them. But just I think soaking up the kindness and the love that's just there, in Maui. And I've never been to other parts of Hawaii, but I assume it's all the same. Like it's just packed with the love for their surroundings and the people that they have around them. But yeah, no, I definitely went there, never having any experience in Maui because I'd never been there. But I think the script definitely sticks true to just that feeling, that family oriented feeling of not just the people with them, but just also where they live. They take so much pride in where they live, like it is their family as well. There's so much love. So I felt that on the day just as much as I did like toward the end of the film and reading the script and all of that. It all rings so true. And I think you come back from an experience like that feeling nothing but gratitude. And my parents came, I asked them to come out. I was shooting during the span of their birthdays. They're both born in June.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to share that with them. I feel like they got to feel that as well, like both from the crew and everybody on set, but also just getting to explore the whole place together. It was wonderful. I can't wait to go back.
We got to talk about the art of taking ownership of some memorable lines, such as "return some of my sacred water back to the earth." It's I would say it's a badge of honor to get a line like that in an action movie, and you're working opposite some kings of action lines here who get very, like classic one-liners. Where does one even begin thinking about their approach to delivering a standout line like that, or some of the others that you do in this film?
Yeah, I think there's like a lot of people, when I was like growing up, I would always kind of try to like go for the joke and stuff, like in high school and like in improv shows and stuff. I was very like energetic and just excited to be there. But I think with lines like that, like I know it's such a silly line, but like to deliver things like that, you kind of just have to be as chill and like honest and in the moment as possible. So I think the secret, at least for me, is just trying not to play it up. But I also can't take credit for that line. That's also Chuck Russell. There's some that I got to sneak in, but that one was all him. But I absolutely loved saying it because it definitely colors in my character's personality quite a bit. You're like, oh, I thought I knew this guy, and now I know he's got a dad sense of humor.
Yeah. I mean, Chuck's the best. You could take quite a few lines from his career, Dream Warriors included, and stitch it on a pillow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll have 2 pillows made for us.
Okay, that sounds great.
Yeah.
We also get a really nice little gag reel during the end credits here, where we get to see you doing a lot of air drumming. Are there songs playing on set, or what's kind of going through your head as you're playing?
Well, the whole thing was well, first off, I didn't know that the gag reel was a thing until I just did DVD commentary with Chuck. I was like, wait, you put a gag reel? And he's like, well, we had so much, I had to put it in. I was like, all right, cool. And then we watched it, and I was just cracking up. But with the air drumming, I think that's just filling the time. I think that's like the hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
And also, like, I've just done that whenever, like, I have a drum set here at home. I think I just do that whenever there's like dead time. It's better than just being like this. So
Right.
It kind of time, but also it keeps you busy. So you don't have enough time to kind of get in your head. So it's just like a mindless kind of fun thing to do, but also it's a very serious method actory thing to do as well.
Yeah, very understandable. Who had the hardest time keeping it together on set? Who gave like the most memorable flub here?
Oh, the most memorable flub?
Yeah.
Man, I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus. I mean, I would just assume it was me.
Just us here talking.
I'm kidding. Maybe it's a tie between me and Praya, to be honest. She plays Savannah. It's probably a tie between us both, because there's like times where like I messed up or something and we had like a good laugh, but I know that there was some times where like she messed up incredible. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. But just like flubbed the line here and there. So definitely me and her. It was hard to keep it together because we were like joking a lot of the time too.
Yeah.
Which made for a fun work environment, but I'm sure everybody was just trying to go home.
Yeah. Like, well, she knew when she messed up because she kind of was like, I'm sorry, we got to do that again. Or like there's that scene in the gag reel where y'all are at different levels, like her being on top of the grass and then you being on the parking lot.
I guess I was in character. I was like in the scene and she's just up top and then she called me out and I'm like, oh, my bad. But I think my favorite moment from the gag reel, but it's when like she's like clearing her throat. When you clear your throat, you sound like Batman. That's my favorite. That's my favorite part of the gag reel.
Yeah, a lot of Batman vibes, especially since your killer is non-lethal.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. It's kind of an origin story. It's
Yeah,
actually the sequel will be Batman as well.
yeah. He's either going Batman or Jack Ryan.
Oh, Jack Ryan.
Got
I
the
think
name.
Jack Ryan vibes. But no,
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that, man. He's like, yeah. And that's something I appreciate about the character too. Not to kind of get on a serious note, but just the fact that he does the same thing as his dad, but he kind of took his own way, you know? And
yeah,
he's kind of takes honor in that. That's kind of cool. That was
yeah,
cool. That's part of his like, you know, flashback-ish kind of like moments in the movie too.
yeah.
Stuff.
And he gets an awesome taser, so there's that
Yeah,
too. But
and that was on. I had
yeah,
to be careful. That thing was on. I mean, I think they kind of colored it in the election, but when I kind of like put it in my hand for the first time, I was like, whoa, dude. I was like, this is serious. I
yeah,
never held a taser before.
yeah. It looked like a Tarantino weapon.
Yeah, man. And it had like spikes and stuff. It was pretty badass.
Yeah, yeah. I know we're out of time, but before I let you go, as you know, like I'm a massive Richard Linklater fan. So, are you filming Merrily We Roll Along right now?
I mean, we'll see, man. I mean, I know that in COVID, it was like it was given like a really big break. I know everybody excited about it, and everybody that was involved was like stoked about it. But I guess we'll see. Fingers crossed. And I wish nothing but the best for the project. So that would be incredible to see it come to light.
Good old Wikipedia. He's the best. Well.
Are you too stupid to die? You've been chasing me for 10 years.
I'm a little OCD.